It seems correct. So, hello everybody. There we go. There it is. We can see it. The episode releases President's private planes arriving at the everything. Oh, Gourd. Why would it be what? Why is it arriving at Gourd Lake? Can you hear it? The cheers. Welcome, Chengfa Republic. Welcome, Mr. President. Mr. President, this way, please. Your audience awaits. A few days ago, a smuggling ring that wait, is it? It's possible thanks to your country's prosecutor's office. That is a long barrel. From the bottom of my heart, I convey unto them my utmost gratitude. However, the battle is still not over. I declare here and now, the hammer of justice shall be brought down upon all evil.
Oh my god! Somebody got shot! Probably the president! Ah!
Hurry, contact the prosecutor's office, we need that man! Wait! Okay, that's epic. That's cool and all. But are you fucking kidding me? You haven't even established whether the dude's dead yet, and you're like, you hear the shot, you're running, and you're like, oh my god, get the prosecutor! First legal analysis of this stream. That is not likely to happen. I'm sure like there's actually been some time that passed, like it was established that he was dead. I don't know, maybe not, because everybody's still kind of sitting there. First, the police would like clear, seal, and secure the area is what they would do first before everybody's like going crazy like, oh my god, can we get Edgeworth? Now only the prosecutor can protect us from the gun. Word of this must have reached every corner of the world by now. I mean, yeah, we have Twitter. An assassination attempt on the president of the Republic of Chengfa. Shit, there's Gumshoe. Mr. Edgeworth, we've been waiting for you, sir. How long? This seemed to all happen really fast. What is the president's current condition? I'm still not sure, sir. The paramedics just entered his plane a few minutes ago. Moments ago. No, sorry, not minutes. There's a big difference between moments and minutes, I think. I actually don't know how to define moments. Anyways, I see. I hope it's nothing too serious. Very well, detective. Please show me around the crime scene. Roger that, sir.
Hey, mister, just a minute, I'm begging you. Mister, you're the prosecutor in charge of these parts, right? Can I ask you a little something real quick?
I'm afraid I must refrain from commenting for now. Let's go, detective.
Hey, wait, Mr. Prosecutor!
Hold on, Mr. Edgeworth, wait for me, sir. Now then, detective, care to fill me in on the details? I said fill me in, I didn't say salute to me. Oh my god! Dude, I'm concerned about his ability to breathe more so than the gunshot at this point. Yeah, what did all that muscle do for you on that there? No, well, actually, maybe the muscle helped the bullet not kill him, I don't know. That could be. There was a big welcoming event for the president of the Republic of Chengfa. The president of Chengfa, Di Zhonghuang. As I recall, newspapers and news programs were making quite a deal over his visit. Okay. It rained a bit, but it stopped just before his plane landed. He came out and all of a sudden, in the middle of his speech, bang, a gunshot. At least, I think it was. You think? Truth is, I just got here as well, so I don't know all the details, sir. So you were also called here on short notice? Yep, and today was supposed to be my day off. And I was supposed to be at the High Prosecutor's office preparing a case for trial. You know, because we only have 3 days to do that case, so I really can't be doing this at the same time. He, like, had to have reassigned it to somebody else, right? The chief prosecutor asked for you personally, sir. The chief prosecutor? The chief prosecutor was taking part in the welcoming event. Apparently, the chief called out right after the incident occurred. Call Prosecutor Edgeworth. He's the only one who can solve this case. Again, this is so stupid. How about instead of calling for somebody to solve the case, you use the men that you have on hand to apprehend the suspect. Thus, the case is already solved. There was a shot, they're just like, oh shit, well, we're not gonna catch him, so get the person who's gonna solve the case. That's so fucking funny. I want to work for this guy because dude obviously has way more faith in his employees than he has in the rest of the human race. After the incident, we sealed off the park right away. Yeah, that's correct. Which means the assassin is still in the park. An assassin in this crowd? This could get dangerous, sir. This is a race against time. Let's begin the investigation. First, I like how you get right down to business. We investigate the crime scene, gather some information. Precisely. There's no mistaking it. There are plenty of nook and crannies all around here. The president was targeted with a gun. Detective Gumshoe. Where was security at the time of the gunfire? The police were only in charge of guarding the park's perimeter. The president was being protected by his own personal bodyguards, who are apparently fucking worthless. Like, they're still just standing there. Like, you weren't looking for the guy that you... Okay. Talk to someone, press the A button while standing near them. I'll have to remember that the next time I've always wondered why I've been weird, you know, awkward around strangers. All this time, it's because I wasn't pressing the A button. No, what do you want? You are the president's worthless bodyguards, correct? What was the president's security detail like during the speech? The president had his two best men by his side. The rest were stationed near the stage area. We are professionals. Professional losers. We constantly kept our eyes on the crowd, scanning for any signs of suspicious activity. I see. In other words, security was flawless during the president's speech. Me and Edgeworth have a vastly different definition of flawless. Let's keep going. We should talk to other people and examine anything suspicious in order to collect the remaining pieces of information from the scene of the crime.
I see, so that's how you round up your info. So what do you do with all that info after it's squared away?
Someone in the crowd is making quite a ruckus, but I don't have time for that now.
Hey, Mr. Prosecutor! Tell me how, please, Mr. Prosecutor!
God. After gathering some pieces of information, you try to find the connections between them. Detective.
You know, don't be such a stick in the mud. What's this about finding connections?
See, these don't match up. With flawless security, the president should not have been shot. At least in the manner in which he was shot. Someone was able to fire a gun under flawless security, and they were able to avoid being spotted by professional bodyguards. It's not that they were able to avoid it, it's just that everybody threw up their hands right away. We're like, oh my god, get Edgeworth! This is no easy task. There had to be a certain amount of preparation beforehand. It's very likely that the president's assassination was a premeditated crime. I suppose that should be established, even though it's incredibly obvious. I expect nothing less from Mr. Edgeworth. What brilliant logic, sir! Yes, well, when you follow the facts and find a connection, you will begin to see the truth. However, if the information doesn't line up properly, I may stray farther from the truth. I have this health bar. Okay, what is suspicious? This is... Yeah, I was surprised too. No matter how you look at it, it's definitely... the Steel Samurai. Or the Steel Samurai. Steel Samurai Warrior of Neo-O Tokyo, a hero from a popular TV program. The best TV program, popular with both children and adults, and has broad appeal. Why would they use a Steel Samurai balloon at the welcoming event, sir? Perhaps he was chosen as the hero to represent our country. I mean, I won't rest until I look at Cranny, yeah. In Investigations 1, in that mobile port that I played, you had to like move things around with your cursor. Here you just straight up click it. I get used to that. Oh, wait, but that time I didn't have to. It's the flag of the Republic of Chengfa. Its symbol appears to be a phoenix motif. This is... What is it, sir? Haven't you noticed? There is an unusual spot on this flag. Compare it to the flag on the opposite side of the stage. There isn't a speck of dirt on it. This flag is spotless, sir. Yes, that is what the flag is supposed to look like. However, there is one spot on this flag that is out of place. Where is it, sir? Are you serious? Please explain it so I can understand. What a helpless man. I suppose I should point it out to him. Take that! There is an unusual hole in this flag that's neon green. Ah, you're right. Judging from the burn marks around the hole, I would surmise that he was shot with acid rounds, or just a bullet hole. I think he does need glasses. A bullet hole, then the bullet from the gun must have gone through the flag. Why is it in the water? Poor Steel Samurai balloon. Looks so miserable. Indeed. What did it do to deserve such a fate? According to witnesses, a gunshot was heard when the balloon popped. Did a bullet from the gun hit the Steel Samurai balloon? Maybe it was an assassination attempt on the Steel Samurai. Just don't finish that sentence. To desecrate the Steel Samurai like this is a serious crime. Detective, we must not let this reprehensible assassin get away with this. Of course, sir. Dear God, I think Edrith has a raging boner right now. Okay. Like this? As a result of the gunshots, there is a bullet hole in a flag and a ruptured balloon. That must mean 2 shots were fired, sir. If we include the shot that hit the president, it's possible that 3 shots were fired in total. Man, if 3 shots were fired, that dude has some really fucking terrible aim. Unless that's exactly what he was going for. 1 shot for the balloon, 1 shot for the flag, and then 1 shot for the president as a perfect artistic assassination. That is my social commentary during my assassination attempts. Fuck the Steel Samurai and Chang Fa. No, it's also possible that the flag and the balloon were punctured by the same bullet. If only we could be certain about the number of gunshots. Perhaps we could ask somebody. Now then, let's continue the investigation.
Hey, Mr. Prosecutor! If you find anything new, could you please let me know?
I've been wondering for a while now, but who exactly is that woman? Thought she was just a nosy onlooker, but it looks like she's investigating too.
Hey, please, I'm begging ya.
Like, are you serious? You think I, the prosecutor, am gonna go to the reporter like, hey, guess what new information I got? In order to figure out how many shots were fired, we'll need to talk with a witness. It can't be helped. Let's try talking to her, or perhaps maybe the other hundreds of people that are in the crowd instead. How about you ask the damn flawless security guards that were so razor sharp focused? They should also give you flawless testimony.
Mr. President, the name's Nicole Swift.
I could actually see that being a very real name.
Just between you and me, this case is gonna be my exclusive scoop.
She's actually kind of a cutie, not gonna lie. Got the Sonic the Hedgehog hair with the big old headset and the one bang, fingerless gloves. She gotta be kind of fit, right? Because look at what she's carrying around with her. Is she homeless? No, she probably just camps out and gets her scoops, right? Yeah, her colors suit her well. She got a little nice tan going. I don't know, I'm kind of digging Nicole.
Y'all got a suspect yet? Where'd you get that frilly doohickey round your neck?
Would you please stop talking for a moment? I will be the one asking the questions.
What is this, an interrogation? I reckoned I was gonna get myself an interview.
She's really fucking Southern. The reason I didn't want to give her a Southern accent is because I already gave Lotta a Southern accent, and I didn't want to make her like the same as Lotta. I'd like to know how many gunshots were fired. Can you please tell me what you saw?
Well, I guess. I ain't telling you nothing. Smile.
What?
My life depends on info. I ain't giving it up that easily.
Don't be selfish, pal. Won't you please cooperate with us?
Selfish? If you ain't gonna share no info with me, then I'm gonna go get it from somewhere else.
Oh, look at that defiant face. She's got some spunk. Wait a minute, pal.
Hey, wait, are you gonna give me what I want? If not, adios, amigos.
She won't budge. We're at a stalemate here. A stalemate? That's what subpoenas are for. Woo! As you know, chess is one of my hobbies. How does one go on the offensive against a defensive opponent? There are many tactics available on the chessboard. Really? I don't know much about chess. I prefer checkers. Probably suck at that too. Anyways, even if it appears to be a flawless defense, there is always an opening. Observe as I break down her defenses with my words. Hey, She walked away from me. That is actually not a defense. I'm gonna have to run after her now. That's not an offensive move I really wanted to take at this time. Using the image of a chess game, I need to stay one step ahead of my opponent. Now then, let's analyze the situation.
Until you give me some info, my trap's sealed shut.
Oh shit, we're actually playing chess. She has her guard up, so this is her defense strategy. The moment my opponent shows an opening, I'll be able to strike. I love how he's just like saying this all out loud in front of her. Like, the moment my opponent shows an opening, I'll be able to. She's like, what the fuck are you? First, I should ask about her identity. Now, let us begin. First, could you tell me your occupation?
No way, if I told you, then you might get the wrong idea.
The wrong idea? In other words, it's a job that you cannot tell others about?
I never said that. I ain't some kind of suspicious person. I'm just your run-of-the-mill model citizen.
Please excuse my rudeness, I did not mean to offend you. I may not know the details of your job, but I'm sure that it is a reputable one. Ah, well. Ooh, yeah, well, blush. Reputable job.
You might be giving me too much credit there. I ain't even done any major articles yet.
An article writing job? I heard you mention articles just now. Does your job involve writing articles by any chance? See, okay, this is not how I would have approached it. He kind of brings everything to a halt, and I know it's done for dramatic effect in the game, right? Like, oh, gotcha moment. But like, if you were actually conducting this line of questioning, you'd want to like kind of more smoothly transition into it. Like, oh, articles, huh? You, an aspiring journalist or something like that, like working for the local newspaper, or working for the whatever the name of the newspaper is. You know, it's something along the lines of like, get her to talk more instead of just, ha! Your job involves writing articles because you said so.
Dag nabbit! That's right. I'm an investigative reporter, a bona fide up-and-coming news journalist. Journalist.
I see, a reporter. She may already have some information about the case. This will be my next line of questioning. This is where the real battle begins. I'll need to draw out even more information from her. I like this in theory, though. The idea of, like, you actually have to react to their disposition at the time. Flattery gets you everywhere in chess. I'll have to remember that. You said that you were a reporter. Did you come here to gather news material?
You want to know that bad? Give me some info first.
No, you first. Show me what you've gathered.
Honest to Betsy, I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't have enough clues to proceed with this line of questioning. Maybe I should try another line of attack. See, that's where I would have liked to have gotten somewhere a little softer before going straight to, did you see what happened? Tell me everything you saw. 'Cause that's like really harsh to like just jump into. Were you present at the time the incident occurred?
Hey, Mr. Prosecutor, how about some of that info you promised me?
No, ladies first. I insist.
I told you my trap's sealed shut. You ain't getting my info that easily.
I love your defiant face.
This is my livelihood here. Please, I'm begging you.
You stick your head in too deep, you may be putting yourself in danger.
I'm a pro after all. A few gunshots don't scare me.
When you say a few, you mean 3, right? Because some people say a few and they mean like 7 or 1. I'll admit, you're dedicated to your job. However, you still have much to learn. The fact that you heard the gunshots clearly means that you were present during the incident. See, I don't like this. Because his whole way of going about things is to be like, I would like some information from you. You fucking moron. You gave me everything I needed to know. Like, such the, like, complete antithesis of what I am as a questioner. I dunk with my nuts in your face, madam. You must have seen something.
Busted again. I just happened to be here covering the speech, and that's when it all went south. That's all, I swear. I ain't saying another word.
Well, she was here to write an article about the speech. She should still have the material she gathered for her article. How to get this information out on her and then shit on her once again. This could be a useful clue. You said that you're a reporter. Did you come here to gather news material?
You want to know that bad? Give me some.
No, you first. Show me what you gathered. Let me try using that clue. Are you telling me that you came here to gather material and you left empty-handed? You should still have the materials you collected with you.
That's...
You know, I'm starting to think she just has a big crush on him because she could have, like, left at any time. She's not in custody. If this is a whole big deal, she could have just been like, I'm going that way.
Darn tootin', I'm a pro. I collect info with my own 2 feet. That's why I ain't giving it up without a fight.
As the prosecutor in charge of this case, I am making a serious plea for your cooperation.
It doesn't seem like you're pleading for anything. Don't you mess with me, I ain't handing it over, and that's final. Please understand where I'm coming from. Mr. Prosecutor.
Being a reporter is a tough job, isn't it?
Ah, so you're finally getting it.
How has your job performance been?
Well, I'm always trying to be the best reporter I can be. This here tape recorder, I always carry it by my side.
Let me listen to that tape. See, that's not how I would go about it. It's interesting, though. That's just something to keep in mind. I see. If you're trying to be the best reporter that you can be, then it would be unnatural for you to not have collected any news materials. You recorded it on your tape recorder, didn't you? The information regarding this case.
Doggone it! There goes my exclusive scoop. That's right. I have it on my tape recorder. All the information I recorded for my article is right here.
Checkmate. Logic chess complete. What was that? Where'd that voice come from?
That's amazing, Mr. Prosecutor. Before I knew it, you had done me chattering like a chipmunk.
Let me hear what you have on the tape recorder.
Fine, but I won't let you have it for free. Other than my mentor, you're the only person to push me this far. In other words, you're gonna be my second mentor. Yep, that's how it's gonna be.
I see. It's kind of like a second home, sir. I don't even have a first home.
And I got one more request, a 24-hour exclusive interview.
Whoa! What? You're gonna sit and talk to him for 24 hours? That's impressive. You can stream for 24 hours too, right? But you're probably not talking to just one person. She wants a one-on-one interview, just one person in the same room, 24 hours. I know what she probably means is I want to shadow you around for the day, all right?
Please, Mr. Prosecutor, this is my first and final request as your apprentice.
This is difficult to accept, but unless I agree to it, I won't be able to listen to the tape. 24 hours is out of the question, but I will grant you an interview after we solve this case.
What about being my second mentor?
Also out of the question.
Aw, don't be so ornery. Well, I guess you take what you get. It's all for the sake of my new scoop. Time to get the ball rolling. Let's begin our exclusive coverage.
Well then, Miss Swift, please begin the playback of the tape recorder for me. My dear friends, there is a reason for my visit a few days ago. Smuggling ring that has long I read all this already. I see. This was the president's speech.
President passionately addresses the crowd. He's deflating the rumors flying around about a recent decline in his approval ratings.
Wait, are approval ratings a matter of rumor? I guess? But like normally you could say like, here's the approval rating. And that's not a rumor, you can actually see it, it's right there. It's kind of still speculative because you're projecting from a random sample, but still.
According to the schedule, there's a meeting after this. I seem quite pleased that the Yatagarasu incident has been resolved. What? Who's talking?
Well, of course. It's a great honor for us as well. Whose voice is this?
Those are from the folks standing in front of me. I reckon it was two older men. They kept on whispering to each other.
Where have I heard this voice before?
Oh, the gunshot's coming up. President raises his fists in the air. The atmosphere is boiling to a fever pitch.
However, the battle is still not over. I declare here and now, the hammer of justice shall be brought down upon all evil.
What in tarnation? Whoa, whoa, whoa!
2 shots. It seems that 2 shots were fired.
What do you reckon?
It's elementary, my dear Nicole. It's quite simple, really. Using the bullet's trajectory, we can deduce its flight path. 2 shots were fired. 1 bullet hit the president. That means the other shot left a hole in the flag and punctured the balloon. You understand now the location of the perpetrator who fired the gun? The bullet that struck both the flag and the balloon was fired from here. But if you're assuming that the 1 bullet hit both, then it'd have to be like over here. Why would they have fired so far to the right otherwise? That doesn't make sense to me. Take that! Okay. By connecting the bullet marks from the flag and the balloon, we learn the bullet's trajectory. It's likely that the bullet was fired from the left side of the audience area. That's what I expect from Mr. Edgeworth. Detective Gumshoe, I would like to investigate the left side of the audience area. Yes, sir. Wait, you mean we have to move all these people? Yes. There is no time. You could be losing vital evidence for every second we let slip by. We must hurry. Yes, sir.
Mentor number 2, hey mentor number 2!
Miss Swift, I assume you are addressing me?
Of course, mentor number 2. This is my time to shine. I'm an expert at crowd dispersal. Light the torches, release the hounds, and run them down.
I appreciate your help, but please do not use those methods. Also, please stop addressing me as your mentor. I never agreed to that position.
I hear ya. I'll try to keep that in mind, Mr. Prosecutor.
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, let's restart the investigation, sir. The crowd has made a mess of the crime scene. I hope some traces of the criminal are still left behind. Oh, what are you doing here? Did somebody honestly think when they were like, get that investigator, that they were talking about old tutorial here?
This is a terrible incident indeed, Mr. Edgeworth.
Who was this man again? Oh my god. Didn't he like just run into him recently? Like he was in investigations, wasn't he? Like very briefly, and he was like, who is this?
I, Winston Payne, am willing to assist as a prosecutor.
He's a prosecutor? Why'd you come here today?
I accompanied the chief prosecutor.
His voice sounds like the one I had heard on the tape earlier. Was he one of the men standing in front of Miss Swift? And where is the chief now?
The chief is a busy man. He had special permission to leave the premises.
The chief called me here and then he left by himself? I'm not completely satisfied with this.
Y'all need to go through the garbage? You prosecutors got a tough job.
Detective Gumshoe? I go through nothing. Let's see, I hope I find something good. Oh, a sandwich. Could eat this later. The detective seems to be a little too eager about searching through trash. This is a winning popsicle stick. Who'd throw this away? Detective? Sorry, sir. Let's see. Something related to the case. Look what I found, sir. Yes, good work. Let's have a closer look. All right, let's give it a try. They just left the gun in there? And the plans? Oh, that's a big yikes. Let's see. President's security detail. These are the plans for the president's security, sir. It depicts the security layout. The bodyguards' names are written on here too. Rook and Knightley. And they actually did it as a Rook and... okay. The bodyguards are not from the Republic of Chengfa.
Seems that the president hired a local security firm.
That was a terrible idea. Why didn't he use the police force of Chengfa?
You want to know the reason? That's another big scoop.
Do you know something about it?
I was just at the Chengfa embassy the other day, fixing to get me some news material. That's when I heard, sounds like the president's got plenty of enemies. He also don't get along too well with the top brass of the Chengfa police.
I see. He doesn't even trust the people of his own country. It seems like he has a right to not trust anybody at this point. This could be related to the assassination attempt. You get what you pay for? Yeah, you do. Why would this document be in the bag? That is strange indeed. It concerns the safety of the president normally and be under tight security. This bag. There's something else in it, sir. Yeah, the gun. Okay. Why did you have to go and ruin that perfectly good revolver with that ugly ass scope? If you can't shoot him without that scope, you're not the person to be shooting him. Mr. Edgeworth, could this bag have belonged to the... Indeed, it is possible that the assassin may have thrown it away. It's a revolver. For something like this to appear in a place like this, somebody is incredibly stupid. Yeah, everything's terrible so far, and Edward's sitting here like a flawless assassination attempt, flawless security, everything is flawless. This revolver, I will need to take a closer look at it. This is a laser pointer. It's an implement you attach to a gun to help you aim with a laser, sir. Just press here and it's firing a red laser, sir. When the assassin used this laser pointer to target the president? No, they did it to blind the president. How many bullets we got? Yep, this gun fired 2 bullets. That matches the number of gunshots heard. I guess this gun wasn't doing any pre-game murdering, if you know what I mean. This must be the murder weapon, sir. Good work, detective. I have one more request. Please tell the forensic team to check the gun in the bag for fingerprints. Yes, sir. Wow, he got out of there fast. If we can obtain fingerprints, it would be a huge breakthrough in our investigation. I've got the results back, sir. What? It's not even Gumshoe that shocks me, to be honest. It's the forensics team. That was fast. Of course. I made them double time it. Unfortunately, we couldn't find any fingerprints, sir. Are you certain you did a thorough search? I mean, you were literally gone for like 2 seconds. Of course. We combed every inch. We even took out the bullets and examined them, sir. As expected, this won't be easy. Jeez. There was something down here, wasn't there? It's a news van for the local media. The tires are stuck in the mud. That reminds me of the time when I helped push your car out of the mud, sir. You just drove off and left me behind. I was totally bummed out. Wow, that's a super douche thing to do. Now that he mentions it, I do seem to recall something like that happening. About 15 minutes later, you did a U-turn and came back to pick me up. As expected, Mr. Edgeworth. I knew that you wouldn't forget about me, sir, even though you did. Yes, of course not. Except for those 15 minutes, of course. You're with the television crew, are you not? Oh, that's right, but... Then you must have recorded the speech. I'd like to see the footage. Yeah, about that. That will be difficult. What's that, pal? It's your duty as a citizen to cooperate with the investigation. After the incident, the guests knocked over the TV camera in the panic. All the footage was lost. If there was any footage left, it could have been final evidence. Yeah, it's too bad, sir.
Looks like you're in a jam, Mr. Edgeworth.
That voice. Kay.
Long time no see, Mr. Edgeworth. The hero of justice. Kay Faraday is here to save the day.
By long time, doesn't she literally mean like 2 weeks? So, have you given up on this great thief business yet?
Nope, I haven't stopped. I'm just on vacation. I'm still training to become the second Yatsugarasu.
God, that's one word I'm not gonna, be sad that I'm not saying every 2 seconds. Last case, whew.
Well, we're glad to see you. You look like you've been doing well, pal. It's been a while, Gummy. I'm glad you're well, too.
Okay, you said earlier you could help me out.
Please don't be surprised, Mr. Edgeworth. I took a photo that captures the exact moment of the crime.
Wait, so she had her camera out and just happened to snap a photo just as the gunshot rang out? Or is she so fast with her hands that she heard the gunshot, got her camera out, and then snapped the picture as the president was getting shot? Because that would be very impressive. I see. Could you show it to us at once? Please? Pretty please?
Same as usual, I see. Can't you act even a little surprised? Yeah, that prosecutor's always in the sour mood. Sour mood. Even got annoyed when I called him my second mentor. Oh, by the way, I'm Nicole Swift, up-and-coming investigative reporter. Nice to meet you, Nicole. Yeah, Mr. Edgeworth's really...
Enough idle chatter. Can you please just show us the photo?
Fine, here. This is a photo I took right at the moment of the gunshot.
Wait, so she heard the gunshot and snapped it before the bullet even reached him? Because that's the laser, right? Or did he get shot in his forehead and not die? Not that that can't happen, but that's not likely. Well, see, is it the laser though? Did he see the laser and start freaking out? Or is it because he actually got shot in the head? What is this? Thank you, Kay. This will be a very important clue.
Oh, you got that sharp look in your eyes. Did you find something, Mr. Prosecutor?
In this photo, there's a contradiction. It's time for my deductive skills to come into play. First, I have to find the spot that holds the contradiction. I want to look at my organizer first. Here? Yeah. Once I've found the contradiction, I press the X button with conviction. If you don't do it with conviction, it won't work. Then I present the evidence that contradicts the spots. Is it because he has no red dot on his forehead? Oh, are you kidding me? That's actually really funny. He is obviously the rook on the left, and that is obviously the knight on the right because of their hair. That's actually, I like that. That's really cool. It's gotta be either the bullet trajectory, because he shoots it so weirdly. All right, so is it really obvious that, my first thought was that it shows like he has a dot on his head, and this one shows that he clearly has no dot on his head. Yeah. That was my very first thought, but I was like, nah, that can't. That's not even worth bringing up. Of course he doesn't have a red fucking dot on his head. A laser, he doesn't have a laser dot constantly attached to his head. It is the tutorial. This is purely opinion. There's no, you know, right or wrong about this. If you feel differently, I understand. But my personal preference would be, especially for sequels, even though this is, you know, it's a spin-off game, so it's a spin-off game, a different audience could be playing it, sure. If it's but even if it's a sequel to a spin-off, if it's a sequel of some sort, assume that a great majority of the people have played the prior game and have some knowledge of how this works. There are not going to be many people whom this is their first Ace Attorney game. That'd be pretty interesting if that was your choice. Not the choice I would make. But again, I get the logic behind, well, what if it is their first time? All right, fine. I'd like you to compare it with the photo Kay took at the scene.
What do you mean?
Oh, that's right. There's something on the president's forehead that wasn't there before.
Is that a mole?
Are we actually proceeding with this? Like, oh, it might be a... Let's keep it moving, keep it moving, keep it moving, keep it moving. That's foolish. Thank God. Okay, I seriously thought we might run with that idea for a little bit. That's foolish. It's hard to believe that a mole would pop out of thin air like that. Maybe a bug bit him, sir.
That all? I thought you were onto something. Turns out it's just an itty bitty bug bite. You were talking with such a serious look on your face. I was getting all excited.
The way to the truth always begins with small contradictions.
Oh, that's a great way of putting it. I'll be using that for my article.
Logic is a fucking superpower in this universe. To be fair, it's becoming more of a superpower in today's world. Let's see. The Gordy Museum is about 50 yards ahead. 80 yards from here. What is it, detective? Speak up. 80 yards from here, there's a boat rental shop. It really hasn't been very long since I was involved in that case. That brings back memories, detective? Yes, sir. Brings back memories for me, too. I'm gonna have to get used to this movement. I'm really bad with it right now.
What's up, Buttercup? What do you think? Just like a real hero, right?
Yes, a new truth has come to light thanks to you.
I'm trying to live up to the reputation as a second-generation Yatagarasu. Still, I hope to show you more of what I learned from my training.
In regards to your training, please tell me you didn't.
Don't worry, I didn't steal anything. I'm still taking a break from being a great thief.
That's nice to hear.
I want to hurry up and fight for the truth, just like my father. But I'm still in training. I haven't found any members to join me yet.
She said that she wanted to recruit some girls to join her.
There aren't that many girls out there who want to become a great thief.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember that conversation. Well, I would hope not.
This photo of the president and the president from the newspaper, no matter how you look at it, the red mole is a contradiction.
It's hard to believe that the red mole just appeared out of thin air. Edgeworth, come on. You're so close. You pointed out that it was foolish, but you didn't put the other part of it together. Ugh. God. When'd you really start getting up to my shoulders?
I got it. Let me steal a line that you said earlier. The way to the truth always begins with small thefts.
That's not what I said at all. Like, wait, what?
Stealing is an art. I rearrange it to fit my style.
Your version seems to have lost the true essence of my words. What time did the event start?
It started after the rain stopped pouring. It had been raining all morning long. The president's plane got here at 1:45 p.m. Then the president began his speech at around 2 p.m.
Wow, that's like no real prep time. It landed and dude was already like, let's go. Given enough time for the local security force that he hired to get into place. Jeez. When did the shooting occur?
I reckon it happened sometime around 2:20 p.m.
So it occurred about 20 minutes after the speech began.
Yep, it's right then. The sound of gunshots ripped through the air. And the poor old president collapsed on stage. And that's what went down on March 25th, 2:25 p.m. at Gourd Lake Park.
What was that all of a sudden?
Oh, that? I was just recording some notes for my report. If I think of something good, I take note of it right away. It ain't often you get the chance to cover a presidential assassination.
Attempt. He's not dead yet.
Gotta make it dramatic and heart-wrenching. I'm gonna write me one action-packed article.
Did the president actually collapse on stage? The bodyguards escorted him onto the plane, sir.
Y'all have to pardon my embellishments. Sometimes I get a little carried away.
Seems that it would be best if I took this woman's testimony with a grain of salt.
So, Mr. Prosecutor, how do you know my mentor?
You're the one who brought up the subject.
I may or may not have said something like that.
As a reporter, you should take responsibility for your words.
My mentor always tells me a reporter should always leak information freely.
What? What a public nuisance.
She told me that when she gave me this here tape recorder, get out there and record all the scandalous scoops you can get.
So you create smoke where there's no fire. I'm amazed you call yourself a reporter.
I don't start the fires, I just fan out the smoke as far and wide as I can.
Isn't that what I just said? So that's Lotta's gotta be Lotta, right?
Can't believe I got this scoop because of this here article. The newspaper sure is amazing.
You came here because you read this article?
That's right. I started preparing for this 2 days ago.
So the news media gets its news from other outlets now?
Say what you will, but I'm working my tail off here. Of course, it'd be different if Mr. Prosecutor would actually cooperate with me.
What a shameless reporter. Seriously, like, because she's homeless and she has to catch animals in order to then cook them and feed herself. If she is a reporter in training, meaning she's unemployed, she'd have to be getting money from somewhere else. Yeah, it's interesting, right? Like the difference between how Edgeworth and Phoenix kind of like react to this stuff. I guess I didn't consider her to be a student, but maybe.
Speaking of which, you ain't giving me my interview yet. Well, let's begin. What's your favorite food, Mr. Prosecutor?
It's tea, pal.
I said Mr. Prosecutor, not Mr. Scruffy Detective.
He even has his own original blend in the office.
Ho ho ho! Mr. Prosecutor's quite the bourgeois, huh?
Who are you calling bourgeois? And why are you answering her questions, detective? It's all right, sir. I know pretty much all there is to know about you.
Oh, what else can you tell me?
It's dangerous to leave these two alone. The bourgeois. Did I get something else added? Oh. Okay. I thought all we had was the assassination attempt. I've solved the mystery of the red mole. Was it really a mystery? Oh, you mean it's not a bug bite, sir? It's nothing like a bug bite or an itchy rash. This is the light from a laser pointer. You mean a gun was aimed at the president's forehead? And right after that, the second gunshot was heard. That's certainly more than just an itch, sir. Indeed, I'm concerned for the president's well-being. It's becoming more and more likely that this gun was the weapon used in the attack. Why did the criminal use a laser pointer, sir? Because they have shitty aim.
That's right, they would have had a beam of light shining from their hands. Pew, 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 pew. Way too conspicuous.
If you follow the path of the laser, you will find out who fired the shot. That's not good at all.
Oh yeah, I also took some other photos. I totally forgot to tell you about that. Maybe the light from the laser pointer was captured on those.
It's a long shot, but there might be a chance. Okay, could you show us those photos?
Coming right up. Firstly, the photo from before the incident. The selfie.
Oh, she's so cute. She's so happy. Just having a good time with life, right? Just enjoying. I can't remember the last time I smiled like that. Oh, my wedding, I guess. And then after that, it was back to malaise. I didn't even see the dialogue yet. Your face is taking up most of the frame. Get your face out of there.
I want to get a two-shot of me and the president.
You mean a selfie? I guess that wasn't a thing? 2011? No, selfie was a thing.
So it's taken a little before the gunshots. Here's the one I showed you before. This was right after the first gunshot. And immediately after that, a second gunshot rang out. And then, was she bending at the knees when she took this photo?
What's this? You can't really see much in this photo.
After that last photo, one of the running guests knocked me down. One of the running guests knocked me down. It's like the shutter clicked just then.
This doesn't look too helpful, pal. Shit, that's what you think. Right there. Take that! I found it. Just look in front of this person in the red hood.
Ah, there!
Yes, that's probably the light from the laser pointer. Then, the red-hooded person would be the assassin.
We did it! It's all thanks to me, right?
Right. As expected, the great thief has stolen the truth. Perhaps the criminal can also be seen in the other photos. Let me examine these photos one more time. Right here. Take that!
Ah, there!
The red-hooded assassin. Is it actually just the Red Hood? Oh, Jason Todd. We can see the direction they ran in.
Ah, the samurai dog banner!
Right, the assassin escaped towards the right side of the audience area. Detective Gumshoe. Got it, sir. We'll investigate the right side of the audience area. I'm counting on you.
They're all just talking about it super loudly, and the guy in the red hood's like, probably time for me to get out of here. The red-hooded assassin. Oh, not gonna lie, that's kind of a badass photo of him. Since the park was sealed off, there's nowhere they could have run to. We follow their trail, we'll definitely catch them. Now then, let's continue with the investigation.
We'll definitely find some traces of the assassin.
There are toy rifles lined up neatly on the top of the counter.
Oh, it's a shooting booth, sir. I hate to brag, but I'm actually pretty good at these. This is my rifle, this is my gun, this is for fighting, this is for fun.
I thought you said that you weren't good with guns.
Not that I'm not good with them,
I just don't like guns, sir.
Yeah, he never said he was bad with them, he just said he didn't like them. You can be amazing with them and not like them.
Normally, that's what you would call not being good with guns.
No, Edgeworth, I gotta disagree with you on this one. Detective Gumshoe, please check underneath the flood stall. Something's stuck down here, let's see.
Is that a red raincoat? Could this be?
The assassins!
It appears that he got rid of his raincoat before he ran away. This is...
It's a red button, sir. Could this be?
This could be related to the person in the red hood. This sleeve, it's inside out. It's also missing a button. Looks like the fallen button came from the raincoat. It probably fell off when the assassin took off the raincoat.
If you look closely, you can see that the right sleeve is inside out, sir.
It appears they took it off in a hurry. The button was probably torn off. After shooting the president, the assassin disposed of the gun and the bag in the garbage bin. Then, during the panic, they moved from the left to the right side of the audience area. The bullet's trajectory led us to suspect someone who was on the left side of the audience area. The assassin then took off the raincoat and hid it under the stand. The assassin was in a hurry to remove the raincoat. That's why there are signs that the right sleeve was hastily removed.
It also explains why the button was torn off.
If that's the case, why is the left sleeve not in the same state?
Ah, that sleeve isn't inside out.
On the contrary, the button is still tightly fixed.
What do you mean, sir?
To find the answer, we must examine this raincoat in detail. The right sleeve is turned inside out,
and you can see where the button's been torn off.
Indeed, this raincoat must have been removed in a hurry. I'd like to investigate the inside of this raincoat.
Detective Gumshoe, got it.
This is a blood stain. Judging by the location, this is most likely the assassin's own blood.
We're looking for someone who's injured, sir.
Not just any injury, detective. An injury on their left arm.
What do you mean, sir?
The criminal was in a hurry to take off their coat. That's why the right sleeve is inside out. On the other hand, the left sleeve remains unchanged. How did this difference arise? Quite simply, the assassin couldn't get his arm through the left sleeve. If you think of it like that, it all starts to add up. Furthermore, a blood stain was found on the left side of the raincoat.
I see, couldn't get his injured arm to fit through the sleeve.
Yes, indeed, I'd say the possibility is quite high. It's all coming together.
Detective Gumshoe, I want you to pull our assassin out of the crowd. Roger that, sir.
Everyone in the park sealed in, the assassin should still be within the crowd. I'm counting on you, Detective Gumshoe.
I like the logic chess segment as a mechanic. I think it's being able to actually react to how the person is interacting with you instead of just having always one course, you know, and having your decision directly affect their disposition. I think is really cool. That's something you deal with. As an attorney, you would deal with all the time. Miss Edgeworth, we found a suspicious person in that condition, sir.
That's gotta be the assassin.
Okay, we haven't proven that person is the assassin yet. For now, this is just a person of interest. Don't jump to conclusions.
Got it. I'll control myself.
Detective, bring him here. Courteously.
Yes, sir. Hey, you guys, bring him here. Courteously. He's definitely the one that was the assassin, right? That's sloppy work from the killer. Was not expecting that, especially with that fucking ice cream cone. You there, state your name.
My name is John Doe. Yeah, sure. It's never.
Don't even say that, Edgeworth. It's not fucking John Doe.
That's an unusual name.
That is correct.
This man, have I seen him somewhere before?
Prosecutor Edgeworth.
You know my name?
Yes. I've been observing your investigation.
May I ask why you have called me here? We are searching for the assassin who attempted to murder the president. Do you recognize this red raincoat?
I'm terribly sorry.
but I'm afraid I do not. I believe that this raincoat belongs to the assassin. Oh my, that is terrible indeed.
The fuck? How does that even work? Maybe our ice cream cones in America just fucking suck, but there's no way we could get it to roll back and forth like that. I don't remember Edgeworth ever actually seeing him. And like, Maya couldn't really describe him, right? Because wasn't he always like shrouded or something? Edgeworth definitely knows the mark because he freaked the fuck out when he saw that card. And he has two, why would he do this? What an arrogant fucker.
This person should also have a severe injury on the left side of their body, precisely like yours. I have no relation to this.
Stare down! Mano a mano! Looks like they're firing laser beams out of their eyes! So, what happens next?
Obviously a confrontation, pal. A battle of wits between two gentlemen.
Go, Mr. Prosecutor, you are America's best!
She just won't quit. I understand that the person in the raincoat is suspicious. However, that doesn't mean that he was injured. I don't suppose you have proof? Clearly my left arm is injured, but I can still use my right arm. When it was raining, I used an umbrella. I have no need for a raincoat. You didn't wear a raincoat, that's your claim? Yes. Not everyone uses a raincoat for protection against the rain. I'm an umbrella person, after all.
I'm definitely a raincoat person. Umbrellas will hinder your movement. Well, I don't use raincoats or umbrellas. Come rain or snow, all I need is my trusty parka.
This wasn't what I wanted to talk about. I hope you understand. I am not the assassin. That's exactly what an assassin would say. Unfortunately, leaving a testimony unexamined goes against my principles. How troublesome. I am but a simple ice cream salesman. Oops. Please excuse me. In the panic earlier, my wound seems to have reopened. Mr. Doe, I shall reveal your true colors for all to see.
Oh, that was cool.
Mr. Doe, you seem to be a very cautious person. However, today seems to be different. Because you left this behind. You must be mistaken. That does not belong to me. Or perhaps you have evidence that proves otherwise? Mr. Doe, is your injury alright? The wound seems to have reopened. Indeed, it is quite troublesome.
Oh, that's gross! I didn't notice the wound before. Actually, first of all, how has he cleaned that? It's soaking through. Second of all, don't put it back on your fucking cone. That is an assassin. If dude ever uses like a blade, he's the guy that goes and like licks the blood after killing because he's fucking weird.
Yes, I'm sure it is. You have my deepest sympathies. After all, you would have escaped had your wounds not opened up.
What do you mean?
There is no mistaking that the one who wore this raincoat was injured, and I can prove that person was you. With this.
The ice cream is sweating.
On the inside of this raincoat, there is a small blood stain. The blood of the assassin.
That's pretty sick, actually.
Attacking the president is a serious crime, pal. You'll cause an international incident. No matter how long you keep silent, your true nature will soon come to light. A blood test will settle this. The blood from the raincoat and the blood from your bandaged arm. I have all the evidence I need. Why don't you just admit it? You're the assassin who attacked the president. I am not the assassin. You don't know when to give up. This was a game of chess. You would have been checkmated a long time ago. Admit your defeat gracefully. He seems completely unfazed. I suppose I have no choice. I'll admit it. Indeed, the raincoat is mine. He confessed, sir. Arrest him! Arrest him! However, that does not mean I shot the president. What's that, pal? Prosecutor Edgeworth? All you have proven is that I wore the raincoat. And I've proven that you're a liar, too. What sort of crime is that? You obstructed my investigation by lying to me. That's not okay. I'm no assassin. I'm just a simple ice cream salesman. All I did was put on that red raincoat and listen to the president's speech. It surprised me to see the bodyguards take action just before the gunshot rang out. Everyone in the audience immediately tried to escape, creating a state of panic.
Glaring at me won't help. We got evidence. Here, look at this guy in the red raincoat.
It's gotta be the assassin. Oh man, they just jumped right to that. I thought we would have to show that first. Good for them. Good for them. That was the obvious next step. I see. That is certainly not me. What? Prosecutor Edgeworth, please consider this carefully. Was I really the only one who wore a red raincoat? Whether he was or was not, the person in the photo can only be Mr. Doe. But why? This man's self-confidence and intensity.
Did they take action though?
What an odd thing to say. This is very strange. So the bodyguard reacted before the gunshot went off? Yes, the bodyguards moved first. The one on the left side of the stage in particular. You saw it all quite clearly. I have good eyesight. Names are written on the upper left of the security plan. The bodyguard on the left side would be Mr. Rook? That is correct. Mr. Ethan Rook, I believe. Perhaps you noticed the light from the laser pointer.
Dude knows a rando local security guard's full name? Birth date, November 5th, 1975. Blood type A. Married to Wilma. 3 children. 1 grandchild. Like, what the fuck? That man is no ordinary individual.
From their actions, I don't believe that the bodyguards were amateurs. This man isn't an ordinary individual either. Please add that statement to your testimony. The man on the left side of the stage was exceptionally quick, a Mr. Ethan Rook, as I recall.
Is it because why would he know the name? And you have to point that out, but why wouldn't we have pointed out when he first mentioned? It doesn't. Because I mean, not only did dude know his last name was Rook, but then he's like, oh yes, Mr. Ethan Rook, and blabbed out his biographic information. At that point, it's obvious, right? Like, why would you know that name?
It seems you weren't just a simple ice cream salesman after all.
You think too highly of me, Prosecutor Edgeworth.
Why would a simple ice cream salesman know the name of the president's bodyguard?
Didn't you say their names just a moment ago? Mr. Knightley and Mr. Rook. Correct?
This is a diagram of the security plans. We learned their names from this. However, please look. Only their surnames are written here. You distinctly said Ethan Rook. How did you know his full name when we did not?
That's pretty weird, sir.
Why do you know his name? Explain yourself.
That was merely a slip of the tongue. Well, yeah, but that doesn't actually answer my question.
It's true, this guy is the assassin.
Young lady, you're being a little hasty. The reason I know his name is quite simple.
What?
I'm an acquaintance of Mr. Rook's. How about we go ask him, like, right now? He and I have a bit of a connection. He is a name that I will never forget.
Mr. Edgeworth, he's just telling a big fat lie.
This is not a lie. I'm just a simple ice cream salesman and an acquaintance of Ethan Rook's.
In that case, let's just ask Rook himself about this. Whether or not he's acquainted with this dubious ice cream salesman.
As you wish. However, that may prove difficult now. He's currently busy with the president's security, after all. Besides, even if I am not an acquaintance of Mr. Rook's, does that prove I fired the gun?
If you aren't the assassin, then why did you remove your raincoat?
It was a little hot, and the rain had stopped. I wanted to air out the wound. Is there a problem with that?
Ugh, I just can't see in the corner.
Mr. Edgeworth, what are you doing? Hurry up and arrest him. That man's so suspicious, I'd even arrest him myself.
Arrest him without evidence? How can I do such a thing? You have evidence, just all circumstantial. You can arrest people based on circumstantial evidence.
Breaking news, the criminal's on the verge of escaping the prosecutor.
Oh dear, they're already treating me like a criminal. I understand. I've been suspected this far. It seems I will have to tell the truth.
The truth? What is he up to?
I saw another person wearing a red hood. I'm sure you did.
I see one in my room right now. He's right over there.
Surely that was the person who was in the photo. I first noticed him right before the speech when it was still raining. It caught my eye because his raincoat was the same color as mine. In his hand, I saw a laser pointer with the light aimed directly at the president.
Why wouldn't he say this in the first place? This is a problem with a lot of Ace Attorney testimony. Like, this is incredibly suspicious. If this were real life, dude would have been taken in.
Like, to get his story that mixed up, you'd been taken. Oh, now you want to tell me about this? Why would you have hidden that in the beginning? Why would you say that you're an umbrella person and not a raincoat person, and oh, I actually was wearing the raincoat? How do you know Ethan Rook? I didn't even know his first name. Oh, we know each other. Yeah, we'll see about that. I'll take you down to the precinct, and then I'll ask Mr. Rook myself once he's less indisposed.
You saw an assassin wearing the same color hood as yours? Wouldn't that be a nice coincidence?
That's what I expected you to say, which is why I did not testify as such. Prosecutors and the police are a suspicious lot. I knew that nobody would believe me, and now we really don't believe you. The moment of the incident, the assassin was very close to the prosecutor.
Prosecutor? I only arrived after the incident.
No, not you, Mr. Prosecutor Edgeworth. Prosecutor over there.
Huh? Me?
Yes, you should be visible in that photo.
Yeah?
Here, right in front of the person in the red hood.
That's me, all right. What's your point?
I've been observing your investigation this entire time, Prosecutor Edgeworth, and I've noticed something strange.
Something strange?
Seems you still haven't noticed this contradiction yet.
A contradiction?
Please think back carefully. Didn't What's-Her-Face say she was like right in front of them? Which means she should have been right next to the person with the red laser? No, she's not this. No, I'm overthinking that, right? I believe you are holding the evidence that contradicts this photo.
Take that!
It can't be! There's a contradiction between the photo and the tape?
It seems you've noticed.
Mr. Edgeworth, what's going on?
There's a person missing from this photograph.
Huh? Who is it?
Yes, it's rather strange. Someone who should be there but is not.
Take that!
Huh?
Miss Swift?
Why would you say that?
Mr. Payne's voice was recorded on Miss Swift's tape. He was whispering quietly with the chief prosecutor. It seems Miss Swift was near Mr. Payne when she recorded the speech.
Ah, but she isn't anywhere in this photo.
That's correct. Now, Mr. Prosecutor, who is the one you should be pursuing?
Nicole Swift, would you mind giving us your testimony?
Come on, it feels weird when you talk all formal like that. It's fine, I ain't got nothing to hide. Ain't like I stayed in one spot while I was recording. I was moving around the audience area, shuffling here and there.
I mean, when we saw her, she was on the right side.
I reckon this picture must have been snapped at a different time to my tape recording.
Nope. Because Kay said it was snapped right before the shot.
So quit making that scary face, it ain't what you think.
It appears I must reveal this contradiction with evidence.
Hold it!
They're saying it is logical that you can't be seen in this photo.
Yep, I was near that prosecutor when his voice got recorded, but I reckon this picture must have been taken when I was far away, no doubt about it. Ain't nothing wrong here as far as I can see.
They're saying the photo and the recording were taken at different times.
Darn tootin', it ain't about the equipment, it's all about the timing.
What if they were both taken at the same time? If I can prove that, her entire testimony will collapse. Do I present the tape recording?
Objection!
Miss Swift, a reporter shouldn't lie.
I ain't lying, I'm an honest journalist.
Perhaps, but there's no denying that the photo and the recording were taken at the same time.
That's so? And what makes you say that?
The truth lies in these photos. This photo could only have been taken at the same time as your recording. Which spot shows that this was taken at the same time as the recording?
Oh.
Take that!
Can you see the president with his fist raised in the air?
What about it?
Miss Swift, might we hear your tape one more time?
Nuh-uh, you ain't gonna hear a word way you been treating me.
Would you rather we charge you with obstruction of justice and seize it from you?
Fine, you win. I'm no match for you, Mr. Prosecutor.
The question is, during which part of his speech did the president raise his fist?
Ah, raises his fist straight from the horse's mouth, sir.
This tape was recorded at the moment the president raised his fist overhead.
Then that means
Nicole not being in this photo is really strange. Oh, but she is in the photo right here. The person in the red hood. It was you, Nicole Swift. Well, that was cute. What the fuck happened?
Ah!
You're the real assassin, aren't you, pal?
That ain't so. I ain't never worn that red raincoat.
This red raincoat in question belongs to...
I mean, it still belongs to him. He said it did. Yeah.
The raincoat's owner is Mr. Doe. That much has been proven. You were wearing something else. A different red hood.
You mean there were 2 red hoodies, sir?
Mr. Doe's last testimony was true.
We didn't find any other red raincoats.
Mr. Doe saw was a red hood, not a raincoat. Miss Swifts, what was it you told us earlier about your parka?
Oh, you mean when I said I ain't worried about it getting all dirty? It's reversible, so all I gotta do is turn inside out and
As I thought.
Mr. Edgeworth, the inside of her parka is red.
Indeed, and during the incident, she was using that side.
What? Hey, pal, what's the big idea?
You're wrong. I've been wearing it like this the whole day.
Well then, will you allow me to examine your parka?
What are you expecting to find?
We know it was raining prior to the president's speech. I believe you said earlier. You really didn't turn your parka inside out, and the inside should be dry.
Hang on a minute. I ain't taking off this heavy backpack, putting it back on again. Sorry, but can't we do this another time?
You think you can fool Mr. Edgeworth with that, pal? All right there, pal. If we're really wrong, prove it. Show us the inside of the parka.
It wasn't me. I ain't no assassin.
Miss Swift, if you want me to believe that, then you need to cooperate with us. Will you please tell us why you wore the red side of the parka?
I'm sorry, Mr. Prosecutor. I had my reasons, honest. I'll tell you everything. Just quit bullying me.
Whose voice was that? Hold on a sec, it's a little too early for the... Who's that? A little too early for the endgame. Hey, you in the fancy suit. Haven't you been jumping the gun ever since your opening move? This man was in Kay's photo. Oh, I guess I should introduce myself first. My name is... Horace Knightley, the president's bodyguard. Second in command of his personal security unit.
Ah! Watch it, pal. That's not a toy.
Whoa, my bad. She just wants to come out and play. I can't seem to help it. Why do you have a gun if you're not a police officer? She's a lady of Chung Fa. Only the president's bodyguards are authorized to use it. Anyway, back to business. I've got some news for you. There's good news and bad news. Which do you want to hear first? Makes no difference to me. Do as you wish. You sure? I'm giving you the first move. Alright, I got you. I'll start with my pawn. Seems you enjoy chess. You play too, Mr. Fancy Suit? It's Edgeworth, and I do have a fondness for chess. Is that so? Well then, Chessmaster Edgeworth. I'll start with the good news. The president's safe. Not even a scratch on it.
Really? That's great, pal. Seems that the young lady was not a murderer after all.
Good for you, Nicole. But
Whoa there. Don't forget, there is still bad news. The president's safe because his bodyguards protected him. Actually, I had nothing to do with it. It was the leader who protected him, and the cost of his own life. That would be the other bodyguard, Rook, was it? Yeah, that's right. Rook died to protect the president.
What? Is that so?
Rook is dead? What a shame.
That means Nicole...
It means that the little lady killed him. My brother in arms.
That ain't true. I ain't a murderer.
Whoa there. Pipe down, little Miss Murderer. Geez, even if we had to make a sacrifice to protect the king, it was a pretty bad move. The casting.
Sacrifices and castles. What's he talking about, sir?
They're all chess terms. He's saying Rook's life was exchanged for the president's.
This guy sure talks funny, sir.
Horace Knightley, was it? What do you want? I'd like to examine the victim's body as soon as possible. If it's possible, I'd like to question the president. Sorry, but I can't let you do that. What? I got another piece of news for you, and this one's a doozy. From here on out, this investigation will be handled by the Chung Fa police.
What? What's going on, pal? This case is under our jurisdiction. You have no right to interfere.
You're Prosecutor Edgeworth, right? The president knows about you solving the Yatsugarasu case. I'm honored. That's why the chief prosecutor designated you to be in charge of the case. Seems the chief prosecutor made a little appeal to the president. But it looks like you're the wrong guy for the job. I didn't know you'd have this kind of reaction. It's the president's orders. If you oppose, you'll cause an international incident. Capiche?
That makes no sense.
Oh, the president asked you for himself. Or asked for you himself. He knows about you.
Oh,
So that's why you can't do it.
what? What? What am I missing here? Seems like he just talked and said nothing.
No! I didn't do nothing. She's way too fucking clumsy to have been the murderer. Hey now, don't be a baby. You scared of a little chunk of justice?
Mr. Prosecutor, please. Please help me.
Miss Swift? It's clear that Miss Swift was the person in the red hood. However, that doesn't mean that the whole truth has been revealed.
I really didn't do it. Please believe me.
Is it really alright for it to end this way? All I see is a girl with eyes full of fear, pleading for help. Certainly not someone who's committed a heinous crime. If I stand aside now and do nothing, the truth will be lost to the darkness.
Gah! Ah! What?
What? What the you? Silence. What the is an impolite way to greet someone. Your neck injury is yet to heal, and you've already forgotten? No, not you, not now. It seems you've remembered.
Hey, what are you doing? Cut it out, pal. Huh, wait, no, don't cut it out. Don't cut it out. Don't cut nothing, please. You got some nerve to do that right in front of a detective and a prosecutor.
Stop, stay out of this. He's out of your league.
Mr. Doe, who on earth are you?
I'm not really a simple ice cream salesman. He's a professional assassin. His name is Shelley the Killer. It's been a while, Prosecutor Edgeworth. Although I do believe this is our first face-to-face meeting.
That confirms that.
The real assassin was you all along. That is correct. I received a request from a key individual to take the president's life. I should have seen his face before in the case files. Curses. I was careless.
Yeah, you were. Wait, no, why would we have seen his face? Did anybody get a look at his face?
I'm glad I hid a knife inside my bandage before I entered the park, even though my calculations were a little off. A knife? Not a gun? Now, Mr. Knightley, shall we play that game you love so much? Of course, the stakes will be your life. What are your demands? I want you to relinquish investigative authority back to Prosecutor Edgeworth. What are you playing at? I simply want you to allow Edgeworth to continue his investigation.
Huh? Why do you want that?
Rook is an opponent who is connected to me by fate. I would like to discover the truth about his death. When that man died, the investigative authority was transferred to you. I'm simply asking you to give it back to this prosecutor. With your life at stake, this really isn't the time to be stubborn. Why you're just using the investigation to get close to the president. And what if I am? Indeed, in order to continue the investigation, it is necessary that we enter the president's plane. As leader of the president's bodyguards, I won't allow it. Oh, I thought you were only second in command. Now that Rook's gone, I'm in charge. I'm not sure if you're as capable as Rook was. What are you saying? I'm totally the leader now. Very well, in that case, please exercise judgment benefiting of a leader. You can lose your life here needlessly, or will you allow the investigation to continue? Prosecutor Edgeworth, I trust you have no objections. Let us continue the investigation.
Mr. Edgeworth, what should we do, sir?
For now, we have no choice but to accept his proposal. At least we'll be able to investigate. But listen well, detective. Now use the investigation to buy us time. Meanwhile, gather up all your men. Surround the president's plane so that he can't escape.
Right, roger that, sir. Awesome. He still has Knightley by knife point? Oh my.
Where would the president be? Seems he's just behind that door. Still a coward, I see. Think he'd just show himself in front of a hitman? Not a chance. Didn't I tell you already? My purpose here is simply to investigate the case. Well then, Mr. Prosecutor, we await your examination of the body. We need to buy time for the police to prepare. I'll need to draw out this investigation for as long as I can.
Nook and cranny! He was shot in the armpit, that's unfortunate. What, it went all the way through? Jesus! Unfortunately, he was hit in an area his bulletproof vest didn't cover. Yeah.
Really seems like a well-aimed shot.
The cause of death was most likely blood loss. The bleeding has stopped. This is a bulletproof attaché case. It's a tool bodyguards use to protect themselves from bullets. It can be seen in Kay's photo. It seems Rook and Knightley both had one. Knightley 100% killed Rook, right? This wasn't the killer. This is 100% Knightley. Because, I mean, he has the perfect angle on dude's armpit.
Ah, that's the scene I stole on film.
You didn't do anything illegal in taking this.
Anywhere, anytime, I'm always in the mood to steal.
You just wanted to use the word steal, didn't you?
Ha! Have I been caught?
You didn't steal anything. It seemed the victim also carried a gun.
Did he try to shoot something?
He may have drawn it out instinctively to return fire. We need to check to see if the gun has fired any bullets. Still fully loaded. There's no evidence of any shots being fired. This gun is also from Cheng Fa, right? Yeah. We were always issued the same model revolver. There's a square outline cut into the floor. In the gaps you can see some hinges.
This is a secret entrance disguised as an escape hatch. Using a rope ladder, the president will make his great escape.
So is he going in or is he coming out? Which one is it?
I just told you. It's a secret entrance for escaping.
It's just disguised as an escape hatch.
Wait, what?
Looks like she confused herself. Both six-shot revolvers. These two guns, they're the exact same model. These guns came from Cheng Fa. They really should make an Ace Judge series. Like, it shows you the rise of the judge, and then the accident that obviously happened to him to make him a complete and utter dumbass. I'd play it. Okay, just wanted to make sure we were done. An assortment of protective gear, from bulletproof vests to hazmat suits. We're expecting to get some radiation?
Wow, there's even a spacesuit.
That's, I guess, in the event that the Earth loses all of its oxygen, because that plane is not getting into space without burning up. The president seems to be very protective of himself. Although, actually, I don't know what the plane's made of. Maybe. The president seems to be very protective of himself.
But what happens if he gets shot and then he gets exposed to poison gas? And then on top of all that, he gets ejected into space.
He would probably wear everything that you see here.
That would be a sight to see.
Well, especially since that bullet would probably pierce the spacesuit, rendering it fucking worthless. The internal and external views of the plane are being monitored by these monitors. It won't rest. This monitor shows what's happening in this room.
They got some pretty good tech.
Is that so? I don't know much about these types of things. I don't even know what a PDF is.
It even captures the fine lines around your eyes, Mr. Edgeworth. Oops, my bad. Those are the usual wrinkles on your forehead.
Okay, is that all you wanted to say? That is pretty sad. He's only like, what, 27 at this point? What's this thing? Oh, that's the president's precious stuffed animal. I don't really get it, but it's some sort of keepsake. Don't touch it. Precious? That's unexpected.
Hey, it kind of looks like there's been a break-in.
Are those glass shards underneath the stuffed animal? It's unnatural empty space. Perhaps. Was there another monitor here? This monitor shows an external view of the airplane. He must have wanted to know exactly when and where his enemies would attack. He's so chill with that knife to his dude's throat. He's just like, blah, 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 blah. Well, against an opponent such as myself, this is all meaningless.
You mean you can sneak onto a plane without being seen by the security cameras?
Yes, quite easily.
How do you do it? Please teach me, Master.
Kay, who are you calling Master? And what are you trying to get him to teach you?
I'm sorry. It's just, as a great thief, I felt like I couldn't let this chance slip away.
I'm terribly sorry, but it is against my policy to accept any students.
I see, that's too bad.
What do you mean that's too bad? Nook and cranny. There's a lever here. A strange decoration based off some strange animal staring at me with its strange eyes.
There's a lever on the statue. See right here on its butt.
That would be most unforgivable.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean anything by it.
That lever most likely operates the trap door underneath my feet. Then that hatch is actually a pitfall trap. Dude has a Mr. Burns trap door in front of his fucking desk, except for that the lever is way too conspicuous. So if you know he's going for, you see his arm go like this, you jump out of the way. I hope you understand it would be in your best interest not to pull that lever. When a killer talks about your best interests, it would be wise to do as he says. I would agree. I hope if somebody ever does rob me, that's how I'm approached by it. They just walk up to me with a gun like, it would be in your best interest to empty your pockets and give me all of your belongings that you currently have on you. Oh, I don't think I can disagree with that. Here you are, kind sir. Are these some kind of official documents?
I know it's a bit rude, but let's take a peek inside.
This seems to be a security plan. Oh, look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that. They switched the plan. They switched the plan. What's this? The details of the security plans were changed? Yeah, that's right. It was changed yesterday. President's orders. Why the sudden change? Because 2 days ago, the killer attacked the president. He disguised himself as bodyguard. Rook was the first to notice. He had already gotten close to the president. Rook managed to stop him just in the nick of time. Rook grabbed his left arm and twisted it, and then he fired one bullet square into his left arm.
What were you doing at that time, Mr. Knightley?
If I remember correctly, the first person I took out that day was you.
Oops, was that a touchy subject? Touchy, because you got touched in a way you probably didn't want to. In that he fucked you up!
Since that day, I haven't been able to turn my head right. It sucks. You mean since that day 2 days ago? Normally when you talk about that day, isn't it like in the far past? To think I would suffer an injury. Ethan Rook. You could say he was a most capable individual, unlike this man here. What's so different about me and Rook? I believe you're about as different as a pawn and a queen. Whew, get dunked. What? So you remember Rook's name because he was highly capable? Correct. While disguised as a bodyguard, I happened to hear his name. There was no way I could forget that name. Only a select few have ever been able to injure me. So this was the connection the killer was talking about. Security arrangements were changed so that the killer would not be able to sneak in as a bodyguard again. Only the president's two most trusted subordinates would accompany him on stage. In short, me and Rook. It appears your positions were also changed.
That's true! He's now on the right side.
Because I can't turn my head to the right. My position got changed to the president's left side. In other words, I was relocated to the right side of the stage. The telephone, I think? Oh, I am fucking blind. Hey, to be fair, I'm not sure I remember what a landline phone looks like anymore.
The president's clothes must be made from some special fabric.
Indeed, it's to protect against bullets.
Wow! Even does that?
Naturally, this is a bulletproof vest after all. But there's a hole in it.
Ah, so that's what it is. This is the first time I've seen one. You could have said something earlier. That really surprised me.
Yeah, you're telling me, Kay. Two bullets were fired. We know that from the number of gunshots. One hit the steel samurai balloon and the other took Rook's life.
But didn't a bullet also hit the president's bulletproof vest?
Right, it doesn't match up with the number of shots. However, there is one way to solve this.
One way?
The bullet that stole Rook's life pierced through his body and then hit the vest. In other words, Rook and the president were hit by the same bullet.
I see.
That's right. It'd be dangerous if he hadn't worn that bulletproof vest. Is the president alright? Even while wearing a bulletproof vest, you can still get injured. Yeah, the bullet's impact can fracture your bones. But don't worry, he's fine. The president's trained himself like no other. Well, yeah, you guys remember that dude's ripped body? I'm surprised it can be pierced. He can be pierced by a bullet.
Maybe the president didn't even need a bulletproof vest.
I think that might be pushing it. I disagree. Have you seen that dude? He has like a -% body fat. I like to examine the bullet. There's a chance there may be ballistic markings.
Ballistic markings? What's that?
Oh god, here we go. Talking about ballistic markings for every time we've played a Phoenix Wright game? I think that'd be difficult. The bullet was completely flattened when it hit the bulletproof vest. There's no way you could investigate the ballistic markings.
What? I wanted to investigate them.
Mr. Prosecutor, have you uncovered the truth yet? No, not yet. I see. In that case, would you like to speak with someone who is involved in the incident? Someone involved in the incident. Is there not one more witness just behind those doors? Of course, the president himself. Well, Mr. Prosecutor, please do the honors and summon the witness here.
There's no chance in hell I'm letting that happen. You just summoned the president like a witness in court, huh?
Mr. President, I'm sure you are watching all this through your security cameras. If you would kindly grace us with your presence. That is, if you value your bodyguard's life. He's like, I don't! Fuck. Well, that was my only plan. Mr. Prosecutor, how about you? I see. Mr. President, what sort of a man leaves another to die on his behalf?
Mr. President! Stop it! Take it easy, hey!
Still nothing. Come on, Detective Gumshoe.
Ah!
What? The lights. My apologies, Mr. Prosecutor. But I wouldn't try anything if I were you. Seems I'm unable to reach the president, even with Mr. Knightley's life.
Stop!
Ugh!
Ah!
Hey, the killer, you! However, I have already seen the truth. I leave the rest in your hands, Mr. Prosecutor.
Mr. Edgeworth, sir!
Did I pass out? Miss Edgeworth, thank goodness you're safe.
Mr. Edgeworth, are you okay?
Kay, what about you?
I just woke up myself. My head's throbbing a bit, but it's no big deal.
Detective Gumshoe, what happened to the killer? Miss Swift came running out of the plane. She told us the killer made a run for it, but we were too late, sir. We heard from that bodyguard that the emergency lifeboat over there had been stolen. It's probably at the other side of the lake by now, sir. Didn't you seal off the park? The police were all called back to surround the plane. Right now, there's no one guarding the opposite side, sure. Tell me there's no police officers anywhere along the rest of the city? That seems grossly incompetent.
Mr. Prosecutor?
Morris Knightley, seems you also had a narrow escape.
Yeah, that sucked. That punk.
Was he moving a night in the, like, air moving a night? You found this near where you fell, sir. This is the killer's calling card. Looks like a message from him.
The president will be making his entrance now.
The president? Here we go. I once again question whether or not a bullet could actually pierce that guy's body. It is an honor to meet you. My name is Miles Edgeworth. I'm a prosecutor. I am Dijun Huang. I have heard of your deeds. You saved my country from a great crisis. Is he referring to the Yatagarasu case? I was simply solving a murder, nothing more. Such modesty. I have been observing your investigation. An astounding performance, despite allowing the killer to get away. Thank you very much. So he was watching through the security cam. However, I regret that it ends here. What do you mean? Heed my words, foolish prosecutor. You should have already been informed by Knightley. This investigation will be handed over to the esteemed police force of Chongfa. Now that the killer is gone, they intend to take over the investigation. I can't do James Earl Jones. Otherwise, I would. I'm surprised Gumshoe's actually head-to-head with him like that. If that dude put his finger up like that at me, I'd be like, I'm sure he could kill me. Enough, detective. Mr. President, I cannot agree to this. Why must this investigation be handed over to your country's police? Why, you say? Know your place, puny prosecutor. Must I explain my actions? Nay, I think not. You shall hand over all the evidence you found so far and leave this plane at once.
Hey, Mr. Prosecutor, be a good boy and do as you're told.
I cannot resist any longer. Knightley, place the suspect under firm restraint.
I'm on it, Mr. President.
An attempt on my life, the murder of my subordinate, such evil, such sin.
I didn't kill nobody. I swear.
Shut your trap, lady.
You dare question me? You dare stain this world with deceit? Should we pardon this sin? Nay, absolutely not. It is most unforgivable. My reasons being blah 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 blah. I remember the countless times I faced this dilemma in the courtroom. The lies of the witness, the rebuttals of the defense. I did not always have evidence to counter them. Nonetheless, I was still able to draw out the truth from them. That's right. My words alone are my weapons. Now then, let's analyze the situation. Oh my god. His breathing. Leave this place at once! This is a direct order from the president himself. He's not even listening. Any rebuttal I give, he cuts off. And he has that forceful attitude, I'll need to watch the situation carefully. My opponent is the president of Changfa. I don't think he'll show any weakness easily. Apparently, I'm speaking this out loud for some reason, instead of thinking it in my head with the blue text. His words may be overbearing, but I need not be intimidated. If I observe his behavior closely, I should be able to read his emotion. First, I'll start by asking about his reasons for taking over the investigation. Now, let's begin. A good opening line will put me in an advantage. I'd like you to explain your reasons for depriving us of our right to investigate. Impudent fool, hold your tongue! There is no reason! That should be enough of an explanation for you. Enough clues to proceed with this line of questioning. Please allow me to confirm something about the investigation. Nay, I don't recall granting you permission to speak. I am the president of Changfa. You shall not talk back to me. I'm not talking back, I'm simply asking for confirmation. This investigation will be taken over by the police of your country, is that correct? Exactly, that is all I will say. Restrain yourself from making any more unnecessary comments. That's enough. Being on this plane is tantamount to being on my country's soil. You cannot do as you please. This plane? Is there something significant about this place? I should remember this clue. I'd like you to explain your reasons for depriving us of our right to investigate. Impudent fool, hold your tongue, there is no reason. Perhaps that clue might be useful here. Gathering from what you've said so far, does that forceful attitude of yours have some connection to this place? You insolence! Earlier, you said that being on this plane is like being on your country's soil. From those words, I was able to deduce the answer, namely that you wish to claim extraterritorial rights inside this plane! Am I correct? That's enough! I shall brook no insolence! Your words are forceful, but I cannot overlook them. Oh, wait! So now you're not supposed to be forceful! Whatever. But I cannot overlook them. The moment I mentioned extraterritorial rights, your face grew pale. In light of your brazen courage, I shall grant you an answer. That's right. I am claiming extraterritorial rights inside this plane. However, what does that change? You are still powerless. There's nothing you can do about it. I see. Under international law, the plane would be considered part of Changfa. How convenient. He wishes to stake this claim, then I shall question its validity. The next move will decide the outcome. He may be the president, but there is a hole in his logic. Let me break it wide open. I challenge the validity of your claim to extraterritorial rights. You truly understand what it is you're saying? Of course, and I stand by it. You dare doubt my words? You have no shame! Such irredeemable ignorance troubles me greatly. There is no need to worry. I do not need to be saved. It is Miss Swift whom I wish to save from these false charges that you have laid against her. I admire your tenacity. However, your wish is unattainable. The extraterritorial laws are unshakable. This plane is Changfa territory. I don't have enough clues. Permit me to say this. Don't you feel that your actions are too forceful? Who asked for your opinion? All you need to do is obey. Forceful is the wrong word. It is authority, leadership. So you arrested Miss Swift because you felt you had the authority to do so? Yes, that girl's a criminal. There's no room for dispute. The shooting took place outside the plane. Only she could have done it. That's it. The shooting occurred outside the plane. This could be a very important clue. It's time to use that clue. Indeed, I do not question your extraterritorial rights inside the plane. However, you just claimed that the shooting took place outside the plane. Yes, if it didn't happen inside the plane, extraterritorial laws do not apply. Your claim has fallen apart. Miss Swift's arrest is invalid. Impossible! To be bested by a mere prosecutor! I am the president! Checkmate, Mr. President. Hey, how many people get to say that in their life? Checkmate, Mr. President. Mr. President, will you allow us to continue with our investigation? I yield. I will allow it. My heart is generous, my heart is tolerant and merciful. Therefore, as such, Certainly. Thus we shall... Gentlemen, now is the time. I, the president of Changfa, for the sake of the investigation.
This guy sure likes beating around the bush.
Knightley, we have received the president's permission. Could you return our evidence?
Here.
Mr. President, may I make one more request of you? Would you please testify about the moment of the incident? Testify? Hey, hold on a sec. That's your next move? Isn't that the sort of thing you'd leave to the courts? Naturally, it's a courtroom procedure. However, I'd still like to hear what he has to say. If he refuses to cooperate with the investigation, then we'll have to give a clear reason. Is there something wrong? Knightley, stand down. I shall grant the honorable prosecutor's request. I thank you for your cooperation. Now, heed my words. Where was I when the incident occurred? Ah, yes, the stage. Then, Rook and Knightley suddenly appeared and stood in front of me. I don't want to do that. That's too much like Von Karma then. After that, I heard a gunshot and a red balloon bursting. And so those two attempted to escort me into the plane. But then, the second gunshot. The bullet pierced through Rook's body and struck my bulletproof vest.
If that's the case, then the president's a victim too, right?
It was an assassination attempt. Mr. Rook just happened to get caught up in it, unfortunately.
Isn't it strange? Why would the victim want to interrupt the investigation?
Of course, if this becomes public, it would cause problems. I see, there's still some deep dark secret behind this case, right? Certainly the president and perhaps Knightley too know of this secret. Without fail, I shall reveal it for all to see. I didn't say anything about the balloons here. Or are those circles supposed to be balloons?
Objection!
A red balloon burst? I'm afraid that's not the case. What? Please have a look at this piece of evidence. Can you see what has burst? No! This is... What exactly? It's the Steel Samurai, warrior of Neo-Old Tokyo. You do well to remember it. If you wish to win the support of this nation's people...
And don't forget the rival show, the Jammin' Ninja.
Shut up, Kay. That show sucks. The balloon that was ruptured by the bullet was no ordinary red balloon. It was a Steel Samurai balloon. But according to the plans, there should have been 2 red balloons. It says so right here in this security plan.
It certainly looks like there are only 2 round balloons drawn here.
Knightley, what is the meaning of this? Explain at once! Yes, sir. That Steel Samurai balloon was a last-minute replacement. Replacement? That's what we were told. Seems that information didn't make it to the president. We ran into a little trouble during setup last night. One of the balloons that we had prepared burst.
So you scrambled to find a replacement?
Exactly. We just happened to run into a guy manning a stand in the park. He said he'd lend us the Steel Samurai balloon. He was kind of a poser. A stand, a Steel Samurai balloon, and a poser. We pumped air into its red samurai pants to create a makeshift red balloon. So the Steel Samurai balloon looked just like an ordinary red balloon. Is that what you mean? Knightley, why was I not informed of this? Sir, I'm terribly sorry. I didn't think it was important enough to report. It's gotta be Larry, right? Didn't you tell him by just looking at it? I did not notice it. So he mistook the Steel Samurai's pants for an ordinary balloon? Was there a reason why you made that mistake? Oof! What now? A moment, please. I just remembered now. I could not see the balloon very well. You couldn't see it? Exactly. At the time, the wind was strong. The flags on the stage were fluttering wildly and they obstructed my view. The flags? Did you not see the flags that were set up on both sides of the stage? Due to the strong wind, they were waving about just like this. So a strong wind was blowing at the time of the incident. The flags were fluttering wildly. Is there a problem with that? President Huang, you have my gratitude. Your testimonies helped me uncover a new contradiction. A contradiction, you say? Yes, one that turns the very foundation of this case on its head. This completely changes the meaning of that piece of evidence. We don't have the actual flag, right? We just have the... yeah, this.
Take that!
The gunshot rang out during the president's speech. The bullet struck the balloon and also pierced through the national flag. I'd previously deduced the bullet's trajectory using these facts. The assassin fired the bullet from the left side of the audience area. However, if the flags were fluttering about like so, my reasoning changes.
Ah, since the flag's position has changed.
Correct, the bullet's trajectory must also change. And if we trace the trajectory of the bullet, we can tell who fired the shot.
Ah, but Mr. Edgeworth, that person is...
Indeed, I still don't understand why, however, it can be none other than him.
Take that!
The person who shot the balloon was none other than you, Horace Knightley.
What?
Connect the bullet holes in the balloon and the flag, and the line points to you. Are you saying Knightley, who has saved my life on numerous occasions, is an assassin?
Prosecutor Edgeworth, I've had it up to here with you. My job is to protect the president.
Knightley, control yourself.
Sorry, sir.
Prosecutor, indeed the wind was strong during the speech. However, the wind's strength can change very quickly. Evidence! Show us the evidence that the flag was flying at the moment of the gunshot. I have something that shows the state of the flag?
I mean, it shows him raising his hand.
Take that!
The evidence is in this photo. Interesting, and where in this photo exactly?
Oh, that's right.
Fucking duh, there's more than one photo.
Take that!
Don't you see? The fluttering flag can be seen in this photo.
No.
There is no mistaking that the flags were flying at the moment of the incident. So then, it really was that guy who shot the balloon.
That would be Mr. Knightley as the assassin.
Horace Knightley is... not the assassin. Horace Knightley is... not the assassin. The only thing he shot was the balloon. A balloon on the opposite side of the president. He wasn't aiming at the president.
Why then? Why was it necessary for me to do a thing like that? Depending on your answer, I might take aim at your pretty little head.
Why was it necessary? I presume the reason is connected to the one thing that's felt out of place. The one who shot the balloon was the president's bodyguard, Knightley. That fact will change the entire viewpoint of this case. Why was Knightley's position changed? The plans had not changed, and Knightley remained on the left side of the stage. Knightley can't turn his head to the right. He would have been able to aim at the balloon on the left side of the stage? Would he have been able to aim at the left side of the stage? Perhaps the security plans were altered so that Knightley could shoot the balloon? If that's the case... In other words, the president knew about the balloon being shot. He knew about the attempt on his own life. You think about it that way, everything that's been out of place is beginning to add up. There can only be one reason why Knightley fired the gun. The entire assassination was a setup.
Ah?
Huh?
How dare you? Do you seriously understand what you're implying with this?
Of course I understand. In fact, now I understand everything. Mr. President, you wished to take the investigation rights from me. That was all so you could conceal the real truth. How dare you mock me with these spurious allegations! Mock you? That was not my intention. I simply used logic to uncover the truth, that is all. Knightley fired the first shot in order to rupture the balloon. Hearing the gunshot and the sound of the balloon bursting, the audience began to panic. This was followed by one more shot.
Wait, one more shot?
Yes, Knightley turned towards the balloon and pulled the trigger a second time. The second gunshot was also fired by Knightley, to create the illusion of the second shot hitting the president.
So what about the bullet that hit the president's bulletproof vest?
What if that bulletproof vest had been prepared in advance?
Ugh! What's the matter, Mr. President? Afraid of facing a little bullet?
That's not true! I was definitely shot! If we examine the bullet in your vest, it would answer the question for us. If we find Rook's blood on that bullet... Ugh! But... the person in the red hood who shot me is in that photo! Weren't you listening, Mr. President? From the bullet's trajectory, the one who fired the shot must have been Knightley.
Then Nicole...
She was too part of the president's plan. She was to bear the blame and become the false assassin.
The red-hooded figure!
Exactly. I don't know how much of the plan Miss Swift knew beforehand. However, she didn't fire the gun. All she did was aim the laser pointer at the president's head.
That's right,
Once the crowd began to panic, you would turn your parka inside out, and thus the red hooded figure vanished. After that, you discarded the gun and security plan in the trash. And the illusion of the assassin vanishing like a ghost was complete. And with the assassin gone, the case would go unsolved, pal. Yes, that was what he hoped for.
That's why he wouldn't let Mr. Edgeworth investigate the case.
Exactly. All of this was an asinine publicity stunt from a lying president. But you can't do that. You can't do that. You are wrong! You are wrong! You revealed his true form. The assassination is a lie, isn't it? The thief! Why did he have to pick you? This should not have happened.
Objection! Objection! Well played, Mr. Prosecutor.
Knightley! I'm speaking with the president now. Thank you very much.
You're a chess player. You know knights always try to protect the king. So, shut up, now.
Are you threatening me, Mr. Knightley?
What's with this guy?
Oops, sorry. I went over the top there. But on to business. As my first move, I want to ask you a question. Say I fired a gun on the stage, right? I should have been caught. The entire audience was watching me.
I see. No, it's my move. You used a certain object to prevent the spectators from seeing you.
Certain object?
Take that!
I mentioned that like last stream. His voice was smooth as fuck!
Objection.
Your right hand is completely hidden by the case. This photo captures the exact moment you secretly fired the gun. Use the attaché case as a screen.
Objection. You seem to enjoy making up convenient stories, Mr. Prosecutor. But you missed something.
What have I missed?
Everything you said is just a hypothesis, a theory. Flags flapping in the wind, using the case as a screen. Security plans are modified because I can't move my neck. Got no decisive evidence. Yeah, it'd be great if you had the bullet that hit that balloon. Then you could examine it, see if the ballistic markings match my gun. That bullet's probably at the bottom of the lake. Finding it would be a real tough, right?
I need to admit it. It says he says. There's no decisive evidence.
If there's no proof, the only thing you can do is shut up, so do so.
I will not remain silent.
You'd better consider your position. Use your head before saying something you regret.
I forgot the #1 rule of journalism. Journalists must not tell lies. You can't call it a scoop if it ain't the truth.
Tell that to your mentor.
Mr. Edgeworth, I'm sorry. I've been hiding this the whole time.
This is?
I used this laser pointer to aim at the president. That's all I did. I never fired the gun.
You stupid woman! If you testify, you'll be admitting you're an accomplice.
I don't care. I'm gonna tell him everything. 3 days ago, I was covering an event at the Chungfa embassy, and some of the president's men called me over. They said if I cooperated, I'd get an exclusive interview with the president.
And the gun in the trash?
I really don't know. All I was told was to come wearing a red hood and to aim the laser pointer. I never thought it would snowball into all of this. I'm really truly sorry.
Nicole, thank you. That was a testimony worthy of the court. This is sufficient testimony to verify the fake assassination plot.
Damn you, the lot of you. You're all a bunch of mindless morons.
It's a shame. If only you had been able to usurp the investigation as planned. You would have been able to silence this young lady. Dude almost shot himself. Why is he allowed to have a gun?
I admit nothing.
The president?
Rightly, that's enough. We have no choice but to admit it.
So, Mr. President, you admit that you planned a fake assassination?
Yes, I admit it. I'm sorry.
But why? Why'd you have to do this?
My approval ratings are flooded. I wanted to appeal to them as a strong president who survived an assassination. But yet it was just a lie, a stupid lie.
And the bullet in the bulletproof vest?
Prepared earlier. It was not fired today.
What about the killer?
It seems our plan was leaked. Someone wanted to make this fake assassination real.
That's why to kill him wore the red raincoat. You would impersonate the culprit from the plan in order to approach the president.
But there's still one thing I don't understand.
What's that?
Why did Rook die? His death was not part of this charade. And yet it really happened.
Yes, why was his life taken?
Ethan was an outstanding bodyguard. Even though he wasn't from my country, he had my utmost trust.
Did Rook know of your plan?
Not the exact details. I asked him to cooperate, and he refused.
You should have listened to his advice.
Yes, indeed. I wouldn't have done all this if I had known.
You're being too dramatic. What?
Rook was just one piece of the president's defense. Lightly. Yes.
And it's not as if he cooperated with your plan. I did. He ran away, taking whatever dignity he had left with him. Good riddance.
I'm not a valuable bodyguard, but still.
I don't have time for this, sir. I'm the team leader now. There's going to be a lot of changes now that the chicken's gone. After all, adaptation is the most important principle in chess.
I knew you always wanted to be the team leader.
But
Isn't this a bit of impudence?
I will orchestrate even more perfect plans just like this one. You definitely have ambition, but wasn't your perfect plan today a failure? If it weren't for you and that idiot Rook, it would have been perfect. What did Rook do? If he had died, the killer wouldn't have threatened me, and you would have never set foot in this plane.
Lightly, how can you say such a thing?
Yeah, he died trying to save you, Mr. President. Maybe fulfill his lifelong ambition. He died protecting the president?
Huh? But the assassination was fake, right?
Remember the guy that wanted to make the fake assassination real? There were 2 gunshots at the time of the incident. The first was, as you said, I shot the balloon. But the second one wasn't me. So who fired the second shot? The real assassin. But it wasn't to kill him. He intended to attack the president with a knife, not a gun. The lucky winner was the hidden queen. Or should I say the lady in the coat over there?
Ah!
You're accusing Nicole, pal?
I ain't no assassin.
Really? I don't believe you. The gun that was left in the trash. That was yours, right? I shot the balloon and entered the plane with Rook and the president. Rook waited in the cabin while I led the president into the security room. When I came out, Rook was already on the ground. The bullet that lady fired must have hit him while we escorted the president to the plane. Shot was fired from the gun you found in the trash. So you're saying you don't know exactly when the victim was shot? It's over if you lose the king. Checkmate. That's the first rule of chess. You let pieces get taken right in front of you, you're not likely to win. But I did win. Look, the president's safe. Don't claim victory when the game has only just begun.
Hold it!
Where'd you find the body? About where he is now. He collapsed in the middle of this room. When I returned, the door to the plane was already closed. The bullet must have hit Rook right before the door closed. Talk about a hassle. It's all his fault that this plan failed.
Lightly, that's too far.
Even if he protected the king, he couldn't protect his honor. He was careless in his duty, and he paid the price for it. This man is truly despicable. As I was saying. Okay, so there's a couple things I see here, and I'm not sure how I'm supposed to go about this yet. But first of all, if she shot him and the bullet went completely through him, shouldn't the bullet be around in the plane somewhere or against the plane? Second of all, isn't the whole thing that the model gun is the same as what they have? How would she have gotten one of those? But I'm not sure if they actually want us to argue that point. Like, wouldn't it have been louder if the gunshot been louder if she fired the gun and the tape recorder was right next to it? The 2 gunshots would have different volumes. I'm not sure if the game is that big brain though. Duh. Okay, so it was this. You only fired, it has 2 shots fired, but that doesn't make sense if she only fired it once. So you shot the balloon and Miss Swift shot Rook? Is that really true? Can't see it any other way. The gun we discovered in the trash was fired twice. The number of gunshots don't add up. Why don't the gunshots add up? It's simple. This gun is fake evidence left behind by the real criminal.
Fake evidence?
Think about it. The criminal planted this for a reason. By finding the gun, we'd assume that the assassin was in the audience. In order to make us believe that the gun was used by the assassin, the gun needed to appear as if it had been fired twice.
I get it, because 2 shots were fired during the incident.
However, we proved that the bullet that hit the balloon did not come from this gun. Therefore, I have my doubts as to whether this gun also took Rook's life. Here it comes. You're packing some serious heat. Enough with the song and dance. You've come this far, go ahead and say it. I won't just say it, I'll prove it. The one who really shot Rook is...
Take that!
Morris Knightley, you murdered Rook.
finally said it.
Lightly, you couldn't have.
The killer wasn't the only one who took advantage of the fake assassination plot. You intended to murder Rook and claim he was a victim of the assassination. Once the president had entered the security room and the door of the plane was closed, only the victim and Knightley would have been left in this room. And at that moment, you fired a third bullet directly at Rook.
Objection!
A third bullet? Ha! Only 2 gunshots were heard. Numbers don't match up.
The plane's walls are soundproof. The door was closed. The gunshot would not have been heard outside.
But wasn't the president in the next room?
That's true. The president may have heard the gunshot. Mr. President, did you hear a gunshot?
I didn't hear any gunshots.
But weren't you watching this room through the security cameras?
Cameras in this room aren't usually turned on. I turned on the power after I entered the security room.
So you didn't turn on the power immediately after entering the room?
No, actually, I...
What is it? It's not being clear. Mr. President, focus. This is vital.
Please!
I was hiding under the bed, covering my ears.
What? But you knew the assassination was fake!
It doesn't matter, I simply hate the sound of guns. That terrifying sound, and I just can't help it.
That definitely ain't going in my article.
Knightley, you saw the president hiding under the bed. Furthermore, you could tell if the security cameras had been turned on by looking at the monitors. In that moment, when the president wouldn't hear the gunshot or see the room, you had a chance to fire a third bullet at Rook.
Knightley, did you really? You just sleep me?
You really think I killed that moron? That's cold, Mr. President. I have a little faith in me, the bodyguard who's risking his life to protect you.
I want to believe you, I really do, but...
I just don't get it. Why are you suspecting me all alone? There's still the possibility that she's the killer.
This gun is not the murder weapon. The number of missing bullets makes that clear.
Maybe it was one short to begin with. Ever think of that?
What?
Maybe it already fired a shot yesterday or the day before. The second shot was fired today. The one that hit Rook.
Wasn't that just the perfect excuse?
Excuse. The possibility exists. You can't deny that.
He's right. I can't deny it completely.
You need decisive evidence. Evidence so decisive that it makes my heart stop and my logic crumble. You got something like that?
Good.
Mr. Edgeworth, can't you do anything? This right, Nicole, well, it's true, I did an awful thing for a scoop. But I never killed nobody. I could never do a thing like that.
Decisive evidence. I could prove the murder weapon was Knightley's gun. Prove it was his gun? We can find the bullet that took Rook's life. We can determine which gun fired the shot from the ballistic markings.
If you got no evidence, then we're done talking.
Hold it. It's very similar to how they were still accusing Maki, even though it was very obvious that he could not have possibly done that. At least with the evidence they had.
You don't seriously have decisive evidence.
Naturally. The evidence,
Do I have it?
I don't have it.
Okay, it's game over, man.
However, it is somewhere in this room.
What?
The bullet that killed Rook pierced through his body. So where'd the bullet go? Earlier you explained it like this. Yeah, with that gun that allegedly would have dislocated his arm the first time he shot it, and yet got off multiple shots. You know that the bullet in the bulletproof vest was prepared earlier. So then, where did the bullet go?
Take that!
In this room, there is one thing that's clearly missing.
Something missing? You sure it's not your brain?
I'd like you to look at the rack of security monitors. Ah! It seems you've noticed, Mr. President. Among these images of the plane surrounding, only the feed from the right side of the plane is absent. That's what's missing. A single monitor. Mr. President, there was originally a monitor here, wasn't there?
That's right, which is why there's a stuffed toy now.
That must have been put there to hide the empty space where the monitor used to be. Who thought that was a good idea? It would be a problem if another bullet hole was discovered.
So then where'd the monitor go?
Detective Gumshoe, search this plane. Roger that, sir.
President Huang, you said extraterritorial laws apply to this plane.
I will allow it. There is no problem. I just want to know the truth of Rook's death.
Damn it. You think this is a joke? You're always like this. Rook this, Rook that.
That's right, Edgeworth, I found it, sir. And if I do this here, and then do that, I got it. Well, it's definitely stained with blood. I'm certain this is the bullet that killed Rook. The decisive evidence that blows a hole in your logic. The ballistic markings on this bullet do not match the gun found in the audience area. Miss Swift will be cleared of suspicion. What's wrong? Cat got your tongue? Detective, we need to examine the ballistic markings. Send the gun and bullet to forensics. Roger, should be able to find clear markings on this bullet, sir. I'm back. It's like, damn, dude.
Reporting. First, the blood on this bullet matches the victim's blood. Also, the horse Knightley's fingerprints were found on this gun.
Knightley's fingerprints probably came from when he took all of our evidence. The real issue is the ballistic markings. Markings don't match. Miss Swift will be clear of suspicion.
And the bullet's ballistic markings match this gun.
What? They match? What? No way!
There's no mistake, the bullet was fired from this gun.
What?
Hey, huh, that's strange. Looks like I was right after all, naturally. You really think you had me cornered? You misread the board. The one who's been cornered is you. The ballistic markings match the gun, there can be no doubt. The bullet that killed Rook was fired from the gun you found in the audience area. Who could have used the gun? Not me, because I was on stage. But what about that lady reporter in the audience? All the evidence points to that young lady as the assassin who killed Rook. The president and I have admitted to the fake assassination plot. Now it's your turn to admit who the real criminal is.
Doesn't make Nicole the criminal. Don't get riled up, Kay. Let him have his say first. After he's done, it wouldn't be too late to begin our counterattack.
Yeah, he's pretty dangerous. I mean, we've already seen him shoot at himself accidentally twice.
Do you have proof that Miss Swift fired the gun?
Oh there, didn't the boys in blue already prove that?
But Nicole's fingerprints were found on the gun. And yours were all over it, pal.
Well, that's because I was handling all the evidence earlier. If that lady isn't the killer, who else could it be? You were the one who cornered the assassin in the audience. Ugh. Capiche? In fact, from every angle on the board.
I don't recall that being proven.
Well, what exactly have you proved? Oh yeah, you proved that I fired the first bullet. But you're forgetting one crucial thing. Why were you called here in the first place?
That's obvious, pal. We came to find the truth.
You consider the worsening relationship with Zheng Fa to be the truth? No, your purpose here was to solve the attempted assassination incident.
My purpose here is for me to decide. It is not to be decided by the likes of you.
Whatever. If you spend all day arguing like this, the case is gonna go unsolved. Just give it up already. The real criminal is that lady over there.
No, the real criminal can be none other than this man. The ballistic markings match the gun we discovered in the trash can. When did Knightley have the opportunity to touch the gun? Above all, Miss Swift doesn't seem like the type of person to tell such elaborate lies. In court, the evidence is everything, and yet here I am doubting it. Which evidence do I doubt? Detective, did you do anything to the bullet when you first discovered it? Huh? Like what, sir? I don't know. Like, step on it? Or perhaps fall onto it? Terrible, sir. You're terrible, Mr. Hedgeworth! I was thinking maybe they could have staged the bullet. The bullet was discovered just a moment ago. It couldn't have been tampered with yet. Did Knightley have a chance to tamper with the gun?
Oh, I see. When he took the evidence, he switched the bullet casings.
That's actually pretty clever. That's it. He could have tampered with the gun at that time. There's no doubt that this gun is the real murder weapon. In that case, the owner of this gun is...
Take that!
He must have switched the guns. Without a doubt, this is Knightley's own gun.
Objection!
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Knightley, you fiend! You switched the guns! The gun that matched the ballistic markings was yours all along. The switch occurred at the time you seized the evidence. And we were arguing with the president over investigation rights. You detached the laser sight from the gun found in the audience area and attached it to your gun. Then when you returned the evidence, you gave me your own gun.
Did I do that? What you're saying is that I knew you'd want to examine the ballistic markings.
Indeed. Staying one move ahead of your opponent. Isn't that the fundamental rule of chess?
I'm glad you feel that way, Mr. Prosecutor. But you're giving me too much credit. Besides, you even proved I pulled the old switcheroo with the guns. So the gun happens to be the same model as mine. Pure coincidence. But take a closer look, only one of them has a laser pointer attached to it. Check the number of bullets left in the chamber. Only 2 shots fired, see? There's no evidence that I switched the guns, right?
Giving you too much credit? That hardly sounds like something you'd say.
Guess I'm just more modest than you. Well, except when I'm in front of a chessboard.
We're not in front of a chessboard.
That's too bad. Don't use that as an excuse later. I didn't lose the game, I just couldn't find enough evidence.
You're the one who should have an excuse ready. You didn't beat me at chess, you only found the evidence. Something's been bothering me for a while now. I want the chamber of your own gun.
My woman here? Now that you mention it, I've been firing it off for a while now.
Every time he fires, he reloads the gun?
So there's no way to check its status from the time of the incident.
That's it. In order to switch the guns, he would have had to have needed to reload the bullets. Apparently he's barehanded. He had no time to put on gloves when the switch was made.
I think it's about time for you to resign. How about it, Prosecutor Edgeworth?
It has to do with fingerprints. Wait, do I have to present it here? Okay. That evidence is this.
Call that evidence? Prosecutor Edgeworth, you're trying too hard.
Certainly traces were left on the gun. Traces that prove this gun belongs to you.
Show it to me.
What kind of
Traces you got? Rook, a bishop, pieces you got. Rook, a bishop, better not be a pawn.
traces Knightley left on the gun are? You left your fingerprints on this gun.
Fingerprints? Ha. That should be expected. I handled the gun earlier when I seized your evidence. Of course my fingerprints are on it.
But what if the fingerprints are in a place they should not be?
That's not possible.
Allow me to show you. There is one place where your fingerprints should not be. This piece of evidence will deal the final blow to your king. When he reloaded, he made the switch when you seized the evidence earlier. However, if all you did was switch the guns, you would have been found out right away. That's because the number of bullets fired by the 2 guns are different. The gun found in the audience had fired 2 shots, sir.
And what about Mr. Knightley's gun?
He fired 2 shots at the balloon when he was on the stage. And later, 1 shot to kill Rook. 3 shots in total, not counting the number of shots he's fired since then. And after each of those times, you would reload the bullets. Tell us, Knightley, were you wearing gloves when you were doing that? Ugh. Officer, in your report earlier, where were Knightley's fingerprints found on the gun?
Sir, the prints weren't just found on the outside of the gun. They're also found on the bullets as well.
If all you did was handle the evidence, why would your fingerprints be on the bullets?
That's...
With this, it has been proven that you switched the guns. The gun which fired the bullet that took the victim's life. It belongs to you, Horace Knightley. You're the one who stole Rook's life. You are the true assassin.
I'm...
Checkmate. That's one way to cope with loss.
I should have been made leader. Me! Rook, that piece of shit. If it hadn't been for him...
He's a piece of scum. He's a fucking murderer. Why would he suddenly start censoring himself?
I would have had complete control over everybody. My assassination plan, it was perfect. My plan was perfect.
Detective Gumshoe, if you please. Roger that, sir.
Survived a hit from the thinker.
You got a hard-ass head. Considering his neck's already fucked up too.
Edgeworth! This game isn't over yet. You hear me?
That's enough. The rest of this game will continue in the courtroom.
Damn it. Damn you. You have my gratitude! You exposed the murderer amongst my bodyguards, and for that I am truly in your debt.
As soon as he stepped outside the plane, he reverted back to his king-like persona.
Persona!
Some time ago when I proposed the fake assassination plan.
You want me and not Rook?
Rook declined, so I'm asking you, what do you say?
All right, let's do this. I'll come up with the perfect plan. I can even use that guy as a chess piece.
When Knightley said that, his eyes were overflowing with hatred towards Rook. Frankly, I was quite anxious about asking Knightley instead of Rook. Now that I recall those events, he probably sensed the anxiety in my but I didn't see what word he said. Perhaps that is what gave him the impulse, the impetus to murder. Mr. President, if you had not orchestrated that fake plan, this would not have happened. That is your sin. A sin that won't disappear. Yes, you are absolutely correct. You have my sincerest apologies. I too must bear some responsibility for this. Not all of it, but some of it. Even so, I am most grateful to you. I thank you for solving the mystery of Rook's death. I'm scheduled to stay in this country for a little longer. And if any of you ever wish to visit the Republic of Changfa, you will always be welcome. Got that immunity.
Oh lordy, thank you, thank you, thank you! I'm so happy for you, Nicole!
You were sent up as the suspect for the murder. Still, your involvement with the fake assassination plan remains a fact. You will have to submit to police questioning later. You should know that there's still a possibility you may be charged with some crime. Conspiracy to commit fraud?
Yeah, I know that. Sorry about all this.
I understand you want to catch a scoop, but there's a line that should not be crossed.
I hear you. I promise to reflect on this. We did it, Mr. Edgeworth! That was awesome. Prosecutor Edgeworth solves presidential assassination attempts. It's gonna be big news. Big news! Mr. Prosecutor, would you mind telling us how you feel about solving this case?
That was certainly a quick change of attitude. No comment.
Aw, don't be so ornery.
The reason is because this case is not over yet. Ah, not over? What do you mean, sir? What shows that this case is not yet over?
Take that!
The killer's card.
The killer still hasn't carried out his request. You mean killing the president? I hope this doesn't turn into a larger incident. It did. An assassination attempt on the president of Changfa. News of this incident spread across the entire country. The mass media also hounded me as I began to prepare for the trial of Horace Knightley. Everyone had seen the news and everyone was talking about it. However, amidst the commotion, nobody noticed that the game had only just begun. So what did I think? It was a surprisingly sound case. As in the plot holes seemed to be very minimal, which is pretty unreal for a Phoenix Wright game. I did think Knightley's character was a little too similar to what's-his-fucks, the other Changfa guy. At the same time, if that's just a cultural thing that's not like out of the ordinary, right? For them to be similar. I thought the whole motivation was kind of lame, but it's also not, you know, shit like that happens. So it's not like it was unrealistic. It's just, oh, he wanted to be the leader of the bodyguards. Whoop-de-doo. President's character was pretty funny. Nicole is just, I love Nicole's character. I hope we get to see more Nicole. She was Lana done right, and even had like a sinister side to her. If her choice was to rat on them about the plan or face murder charges, I would have probably ratted on them immediately. Was she worried that Knightley was gonna kill her or something? I mean, I guess. I would say that it's already better written than any of the cases in the first game. Is it better than Turnabout Trump? In terms of awesomeness, no. In terms of its construction, yes, if that makes sense. It's so hyped that it might just completely outdo logic and reason. But this is the better overall case.